Hi everyone. Well, can you imagine living in a city where the ground underneath you is literally sinking? The entire city is sinking, not just by milliliter, but by centimeter every year. Well, guess what? This is already happening. It's happening around the world, like in many cities. And today in this video, I'm going to be talking about that.
Rising seas aren't the only reason cities are drowning. Some are sinking even faster than the ocean is rising, and the cause is right underneath our feet. From Jakarta to Miami, land is disappearing beneath us, putting millions at risk. But why is this happening? And can we stop it before it's too late?
Did you know that sinking cities aren't just caused by rising sea level like this? They are also caused by what we call land subsidence. And what is land subsidence, you ask? Let's have a look.
Subsidence is the process of sinking to a lower level. Sediment deposited by the river undergoes subsidence due to compaction and dewatering. As water and gases are squeezed out of spaces between soil particles, soft sediment compacts. As the sediment compacts, subsidence occurs, and land gradually sinks. Buildings and other structures also sink, along with the soil surface. The other process contributing to land loss is sea level rise. As global temperatures rise and land-based ice melts, ocean expands. As ocean volume expands, seawater rises globally. This is known as eustatic sea level rise. Relative sea level rise is a combination of eustatic sea level rise in sea level and land movement, and is unique for each area. The combination of these two processes determines the submergence rate of each area.
Well, when it's about sinking city, let's talk about Jakarta. Jakarta is sinking at an alarming rate, with almost 40% of the city already under sea level. And what's the cause, you ask? Let's have a look.
Jakarta has been steadily growing in population and size since the 1940s from local and foreign migrations. This expansion has been poorly controlled by the government and has led to a particularly harmful practice. Poorer households use groundwater because pipewater is considered a luxury. Excessive groundwater drainage is causing sinking land, and together with global warming, causing sea level rise in that area. The city is sinking at about 5 to 10 centimeters each year, where some areas are sinking at 25 centimeters per year. This is 130 times faster than sea level rise. The dangerous combination of rising waters and sinking land means Jakarta will likely be partially submerged by year 2050. The government plans to spend 33 billion to move the entire capital. There is a lot of money and resources needed, where it could have been avoided if the government had taken sustainable measures in their planning from the start. Now let us look at what extreme flooding, combining storm surges, high tides and rising sea levels will look like in Jakarta by 2100 if no action is taken. As you can see, a total population displacement of 5 million people is projected with these scenarios, and that is a massive 52% of its total populations. In northern Java in Indonesia, it is expected that sea level rise will result in flooding 6 kilometers inland by 2100, affecting over 70,000 people and 6,000 hectares of aquaculture ponds. In the long run, 30 million people may be affected by coastal erosion. The main causes of the erosion problems are the removal of mangrove belts for aquaculture development, the construction of coastal infrastructure that disturbs sediment buildup from offshore sources, and groundwater extraction, which causes land subsidence and river canalization.
There's one more sinking city that I want to talk to you about, which is Venice, Italy. So, well, it's a beautiful city. The culture, the food, the people. But what is actually going on there? Let's have a look.
Venice is sinking, but unlike Jakarta, it's not just the land that's collapsing. Rising sea levels have made flooding so severe that the entire streets disappear underwater multiple times a year. The famous Akta Alta or high tides have doubled in frequency. and Venice is now flooded for more than 100 days per year. Venice was originally built on wooden piles driven into clay and sand, which made it relatively stable for centuries. But the rapid extraction of groundwater in the 20th century accelerated land subsidence, lowering Venice's elevations. Even after stopping groundwater extraction, the damage was done. Venice had sunk by nearly 23 centimeters in the last century. Now, the bigger problem is sea level rise. The Adriatic Sea continues to rise, outpacing land elevation loss. By 2100, Venice could face permanent flooding, with projections showing that much of the city is submerged underwater. So why is flooding getting worse? It's getting worse, but not because of more rainfall. In many cities, rainfall levels have stayed the same, yet floods are happening more frequently and reaching deeper levels than ever before. This is because of a deadly combination: land subsidence and rising sea levels. Subsidence lower a city's elevation, bringing it closer to sea level. At the same time, climate change is pushing the ocean higher, making floods more intense. Even without storms, cities like Venice and Jakarta now flood regularly. Coastal waters flow in more easily, and drainage systems struggle to keep up. What used to be rare high tides are now normal occurrence. In Jakarta, the land is dropping by up to 25 centimeters per year, while the Java Sea keeps rising. In Venice, floods used to happen a few times a year. Now they happen over 100 times annually. By 2050, millions of people could be permanently displaced as their cities disappear underwater.
And did you know that Tokyo was once a sinking city as well? That was a long, long time ago. But today, look at the city. What did they do right? Well, let's have a look next time.
More than 400 years have passed since Tokyo has become the political center of Japan. The city has grown to become one of the world's leading cities. Amid accelerating climate change, with the next 100 years in mind, we have embarked on a new project. The IPCC warns that global temperatures will likely rise dramatically within this century. This raises concerns about storm and flood damage. In the past 40 years, the number of disasters has quadrupled around the world. The Tokyo metropolitan government is taking various measures to combat this global challenge. A city of waterways, Tokyo has prepared for floods through widening rivers and building levees. And now, in order to fully utilize its limited urban space, Tokyo is making use of underground spaces. This is an underground regulating reservoir that temporarily stores rising river water to prevent the rivers from overflowing. Thanks to these measures, we have succeeded in drastically reducing the number of flooded houses in cases of typhoons of the same size in the past 50 years. However, with the amount of rainfall in Tokyo predicted to increase by nearly 10% due to climate change, Tokyo is further reinforcing its underground regulating reservoirs. Countermeasures are also underway in coastal areas, where sea levels are predicted to rise up to as much as 60 centimeters by 2100. Measures like elevating the existing seawalls. Additionally, working together with redevelopers, we will protect our communities from floods through the development of solid revetments and other such measures. We will continue to take preemptive measures to prepare for future crises.
Well, if cities want to stop sinking now, serious actions need to be taken. And some people might say that it's too late. But together with the government and the people, I believe that this crisis can be reversed. There's so much beauty in living in a coastal city. So why not make the best out of it? Thank you so much for staying with me up to this point of my video. I hope you enjoy it and see you next time.